What if I told you the smallest county in the country was just 12 square miles, had a population of 82, had no way of access for automobiles, and didn't even have its own government, being run by its state Department of Health? You might think I'm crazy, but this is a real county I'm talking about, being almost completely cut off from the rest of the country, and purposefully at that. So today I'm going to tell you the crazy story of America's smallest county. Really quick before the video starts, I just wanted to ask if you'd please consider clicking the subscribe button below. I make geography content like this every single week, so if that's the kind of thing you're interested in, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. So let's go back here and first talk about exactly where and what this county is. So this is Kalawao County, Hawaii. Now, when I say Hawaii, you might think the county I'm talking about is a small island in the chain. But no, Kalawao County is just a small portion of the already lesser known island of Molokai. So let's now give you a rundown of the county statistically and geographically. The population is 82 as of the 2020 census, making it the second least populated county in the country, ahead of Loving County, Texas, which has its own population of 64 residents. There's only one actual settlement there, Kalapapa, which holds basically all of the necessities the county needs. The airport is located at the north end of the peninsula, which is only important because of what I'm about to say, getting more into the geography part of it. So Kalawao County, though it stretches slightly further to the southeast, is basically just on this small peninsula jutting out from the rest of the island. On the edge of the peninsula, where it comes into the rest of the island, there are over quarter-mile tall cliffs, making it virtually impossible to connect the area up to the rest of Molokai. Currently, the only land connection is an extremely steep donkey path, meaning the county is 100% disconnected by automobile travel, which is actually incredibly important to the story of the county, which is where we get into the history of Kalawao, going all the way back to around 1860, when the chain of islands was referred to as the Kingdom of Hawaii. So at this time, they were having problems with Hansen's disease, which you may know as leprosy. The disease was spreading around the area, and they needed a nice spot to put all of the infected individuals away from everyone else, somewhere to quarantine them. So I'm sure you're putting the story together yourself now. They basically decided, wow, there's a peninsula here completely disconnected from the rest of the island. That might work. So that's what they did. Starting in 1866, the peninsula was used as a quarantine zone for persons suffering with Hansen's disease. Now, when you're in a situation like this, you'll start becoming closer to the people around you. It was a group of exiled individuals that basically just had to work together to live, which resulted in a really interesting community dynamic. So that's basically how it was there for the next century, into the 1960s, when the quarantine policy was able to be lifted after effective antibiotic treatments were developed for Hansen's disease. Though, as I just said, all the people who were put here had become very close, and the community was already built up. So many of the residents chose to remain on the peninsula. The state promised these people they could live there for as long as they wanted, with no new patients or other permanent residents being admitted. Now this is where we get into the more present-day story of the county, because it's incredibly interesting how the area has been sort of lost to time and cut off from the rest of the country. Basically, visitors are only allowed on the peninsula on official tours, and state law prohibits anyone under the age of 16 from visiting or living there. It's really crazy stuff. And as well as that, the peninsula is now considered a National Historic Park, as to preserve the history and environment. So it really is just a sort of safe haven protected by the government, as to preserve the feel and history. So now it's present day, but the county isn't without problems. Mainly, there's a pretty major population problem. So ever since the county has lost its purpose, the population has steadily declined every census. Back in 1900, it had a population of 1,177, then losing over 10% every 10 years ever since, down to now just 82 people. Nobody is moving here, obviously, so it's basically just the long-time residents. Just 3% of the population is under 25 years old, and the median age is 59 years old. This means after the current residents start to pass or leave, the county will turn into a sort of ghost town, lost to history. What makes it even more interesting is that because it's a National Historical Park and there are rules set in place, you'd have to go through some pretty major loops to even get any new residents in the county after the current ones are gone. I don't know what the plan is for the county once this happens, but either way it'll be very interesting to see what the future holds. One last little fun thing I wanted to mention before the end of the video is the politics of the county. So the state of Hawaii has always been a stronghold for the Democratic Party. So when you have a county with just 82 people that has such an interesting culture, you'll find incredibly unique election results. In 2016, Donald Trump received just one vote in the county, meaning there's one imposter somewhere in the county that disagrees with all 81 other people. Also in 2016, Jill Stein of the Green Party received 25% of the votes, making it her best county in the country. Though in 2020, the Green Party fell off the map to Joe Biden, who received 96% of the vote, making it his strongest county, interestingly enough. So that's the insane story of Kalawao County, and how it's gone from a quarantine zone to a future ghost town. It will be incredibly interesting to see what the future holds for the county, and we'll all have to just wait and see. Thanks for watching. Thank you to the members this week: Florida Jake, Philip Gertz, Somnam Woods, Big Pasty, Karen Hudson 81, Stormy Knight, Nikita Martinoff, KMS 162, Haystack, Benjamin Whiting, Ryan Devins, Hazev the Wolf, Jake Holloway, JL, Jeremy Crone, Dominic Psyche, Rosebud 4, and Bryson. I appreciate you all so much. All of these people are just giving extra money to the channel to help me out as a person. All of this money goes straight into my savings to help me save up for college and stuff like that, just for the future. So if you appreciate the content and have some extra money, this will literally just go into my future and help me out as a person. So thank you all so much. I genuinely appreciate it.